So quiet. Okay. Well, this is something new. Only problem is when the cursor focus leaves the game, the sound stops. I wonder if I can fix that. I think I may have disabled the music on the game. Ah, the landing sound didn't replicate. There's a bug. Okay, bug notes, bug notes. Okay, so network replication. Height landing effects. Okay. Bug noted. That's why I do these slow motion sort of streams, because I actually can record them, and look at all the bugs and learn something new every day. So, like I noticed on the the turret pickup. Turret pickup. Late state replication. So that's why the turret was still showing after I had picked it up and I could move through it. Good to see that the weapon drop actually worked as well. So we have this thing that's it's like still just hovering above the ground, and I'm wondering if it's the ground tile or it's very, very difficult to get the timing of the movement with the foot landing, and I think it's really just an animation timing curve against the movement speed. I'll have to work that one out. It's just not something that, I mean, I spend the time playing the game as a shooter and just to have fun. But when it comes down to the little details, that's what makes an actual good game developer. I mean, this is a hobby game, and it's a learning experience. I mean, everything, this is the old Unreal Engine 4, so. And everything is standard effects and stuff. I don't have time to make all the textures and everything like that by hand myself. I mean, that's crazy. I just wanted to make a fun shooter that I like to play, and the game played the way I like to play shooter games, with things like crouch jump, because it gives you that that feeling of, you know, it's just this layer of skill. It's an extra layer of skill, and I just find that where the skill is in a game these days isn't, you know, sort of predetermined button presses, I guess. I mean, I wanted a game that felt so off rails that, uh, yeah, that's just it. It's just off rails. um, it I don't know. It's something that you won't know until you experience playing it. I mean, to the degree I have. I mean, to find out all the other bits of you know what? I think there is a bug here. Um, okay, I'm trying to get the UI back up for the replay. So there's a little bit of a delay there. So this really lets me also slow motion replays. Slow motion replays is something every single Unreal or any developer should be doing. One, because it forces you, well, in Unreal, let me volume that down a bit. I don't know. I don't know. It's like 5 years later, that still makes me laugh. That, oh my god, I wish it would explode in the air. That would be hilarious. That's a random thing as well because it actually does have a timer. There, see, it just gets insane. It's just insane. It's stupid. It's so stupid, but it's so fun. And I love my squirrels. I do. But unfortunately, you know, they're trying to eat you. So you have no choice. I wish I could, I mean, I would love to have the time. So this is, Saturday. Got time to play with the squirrels. And oh yeah, okay, so and I haven't done one of these slow-mos in a while. So yeah, I'm gonna turn the audio back up. Okay. I don't know. Normally I just turn these on and stream it, and I go and put it on one of the TVs, and so I can't sit here and watch them, or I'll go back and watch them on the replay. But yeah, this time I just thought I'd try out my other little gadget, which is the avatar down the bottom left. So bad, so fun. So... It's just so wrong. This whole game is so wrong. It wasn't supposed to be this way. You're supposed to play as the squirrel, hunting. So I incorporated that into the game as well, the squirrel gameplay. But I need to develop. I still haven't put lasers on the freaking squirrel's head, which yeah, it's just time. I'm working on a lot of projects and stuff, but the game went through the typical Steam nopes, like within minutes after pushing the launch button, there were whereas sellers posting negative reviews and linking to their websites, and some of them, it's obvious. Then there's the hit pieces put out by whoever's putting out the hit pieces. you know. And yeah, the game is rough, man. It launched like I wasn't trying to be a part of the games industry. I was trying to put my silly squirrel shooter game out. I put $10 on it, and people like one group, the hit piece group, went mental, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I was like, you know, it's traumatizing in a way. You know, almost as traumatizing as trying to make this game. um, and trying to pay attention to details on a game as silly as this, you know, it's what details matter, you know, is where they have, like the maps, the tiling. I mean, come on. I mean, I had to build this after work. I didn't have to. Well, actually, I have to. I have to because the curse of Ratatosk has possessed me with this idea in this game that just won't, you know, leave me alone. I'll take it. You know, I'll be working on this game until, you know, my dying day. You know, either on the code, fixing, playing, or thinking about it. Um, that's the curse. You know, that's the curse of, you know, indie game development. You can start a game, and some people will burn out. I can't burn out because this game won't let me burn out, because every time I play it, it actually, you know, it's 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 just funny to me. I mean, because I have the lore in my head, and I wrote it. Sorry, the slow-mo squirrels still make me laugh. I must be mad. It's squirrel madness. Yeah, and so right now it's you know, it's set to where the kawaii system is turned off. Oh yeah, that's, I need to make the grenade hide immediately on explosion. So again, there's that whole delay aspects that the slow motion brings out. So I'm just getting the notes back up. So yeah, if you throw the grenade and it hits directly, it'll explode sometimes. So you have to hit the scroll just right for it to explode. So grenade, hide mesh. Before, actually, explosion, and then do a force net update. So in Unreal Engine, so the replay system records network events and inputs and whatnots, and so everything that you need to actually record and play back is all based on network timings. And this game has a multiplayer component, which is quite broken, but still kind of playable. Using, you know, peer-to-peer rather than server. This game requires server tech. 2 people can play it, you know, if they're on a LAN or something, and it's quite hilariously fun. But yeah, it needs work. But the not knowing anything. This is my first game, so this is my first shooter 3D. The only other Unreal Engine game I made before this was a card game, and they were both startup projects. I mean, they were greenfield projects. Not 100%. I mean, they started with base templates, you know, which gave me some basic frameworks to work with, also to learn. Like here, I've got this, you know, network depression into the ground and that jittering. I'm not sure how to fix that. It'd be awesome if somebody knew how to fix that, you know. But again, this recording obviously had an issue with the barrels there. That's something I should probably just test to make sure it's been fixed. If I can get the UI back. Oh, great. I gotta restart it. I gotta restart the game. let's do this. All right, right. This is actually I'm running a development version of it. So it's running on it's not compiled. So I'm trying to bug fix. So I've got the dev build running, and that lets me log, has active logs. So there's some, low level crashing after compile, and, I've checked the build logs. There's no missing assets. There was a few builds ago, so I'm just trying to test if this is actually fixed. Okay. So let's just do an audio check. I'll turn it down a little bit. Yeah, okay, so I'm not sure. I don't really stream, so I've done a few, but what's the ratio, the audio settings and whatnot? It's not like anyone's watching this anyway. Oh wait, failed in the training gauntlet. So I haven't even finished the first mission through. Jumping is always important. I'll train in the shotgun. Let's see close quarters here. Do I have anything to sell? Have I picked up? Oh, yeah, I do have some stuff. Oh yeah, got some stuff to sell. Wow, not worth much. Sell everything. Oh, that's actually I always keep 3 orbs. You never know when you're gonna need them. Yeah, they're worth some. Okay. I was gonna automate the selling, but there's something about the tactileness, and that I want to build out this part of the game a little bit more. So this is more like, I guess I don't know exactly how to put it. It's like the middle game, and as far as UIs, look, I threw this UI together in like literally an hour, and then trying to force it to be better. Okay, it'd be nice to have designed it properly. I built the game backwards. Okay, so it just totally built the game backwards, which is fine, which is fine for me. What can I buy now? 26. I need. That's what I need. So because I'm an artist and I don't have money to pay artists, I wish I did. I'm gonna generate some AI tech stuff for these. So I did. I forgot I changed the UI a bit, so that these will have better icons and an image instead of just this giant thing. I have room now to where I can put in like schematics of the part and stuff like that. What I do is I'll do my scratchings on the napkin and then scan it and give it to the AI and say make something that does this with this sort of thing and with this sort of so you can direct it, and it's AI is compressing time, and this move towards this singularity, this compressed time to get things done, it empowers individuals to a great extent. But it has also made it so the people with money don't have to depend on people without money to get things done. In other words, job loss. That's not the fault of the AI. That's the fault of the companies that have money. So for developers that don't have money but have a vision, that they want to bring, and this Squirrels game is the perfect example, I guess, that you can take the stupidest vision and the stupidest idea, and it made me laugh when it made me laugh, and it kept making me laugh, and it still makes me laugh, so I keep working on it, because laughter is what else is there, if you live, love, laugh, on all that stuff, but um, there's truths in that. So I look at this and I go, I need, I'd like to have a bit more art in there, or a bit, a tech drawing or something, and I have a limited amount of time, but I'll take that time to have fun with, drawing the sketches and then putting those in. I don't have the hours and hours to become an artist. I wish I did. Well, I mean, I'm in software development, so if AI takes my job, well, I'll have nothing but time, eh? Um, no, but you gotta make it. Gotta make a living somehow. But anyway, the game is more there to keep me sane while driving me insane. It driving me insane in a different way, so the rest of my life doesn't drive me insane. Maybe it already has. Who knows? All right. Okay. So yeah, AI art. Expect more. I think it's going to be more and more. Just commonplace. I mean, everywhere you look, you see AI generated. It's it's not great stuff. Yeah, but it's funny. If you look at the website, that's really, really early, really, really bad AI. It's not even art. It's comical generations of a deranged machine. But it what it did was, I mean, I was able to produce that through the AI, and I get all. I don't want to get into any of the politics, the ethics of this, and who's working what. I mean, that time is almost past. That's why they did it. Um, I didn't want to use that, um, you know, in the sense of, oh, I had $1 million and I chose to generate this shitty art instead. I had $0, zero this, and all I had was text, for a story, and the story was made. The story, I mean, those, the quotes I used to generate those images are, from the game, and it made me laugh so hard. Some of the generated stuff, and like, if it makes me laugh, I'm gonna put it in the game, and yeah. I took out some parts and shortened the story a little bit, but the legacy stuff's all on the website. Anyway, and they get to testing. I'm rambling. I do that and I'll repeat myself. So if you've seen other videos of mine, it'll be the same. Okay, that's fine. I move a bit faster when I'm crouched, which is kind of important. So the training gauntlet has some downed. Yep. I'm not going to start from the. Actually, I do need to start from the beginning, because I got to run some tests. This time, reduce mutation, de-escalate 2, because that's threat level 4 mutation. That'll go. Cool. Those, they will no longer explode. They will no longer discharge plasma in an explosion. Right. Exploding squirrels. It had to be done. Okay. It's yes. Some of these I see. I started with the breakables, um, but then I realized I had to make everything breakable, and I didn't. And I'm like, okay, those are the things I will do later. So that's where I've got to get to rescue. I mean, I did mess around with textures a little bit, made some custom ones, you know, adjusted resolutions. Basically, once I learned how to do it and put it in, some of it into the game, I stopped doing it. Once you learn how, it's like, now I've got to do that a million times. Welcome to game development. I think, yeah, you're going to see a lot. I hope it's not AI considered AI. I mean, not. I mean, there's going to be a lot of AI slop. I mean, if you're making a game to try to make some money, you know, and the reason you're making the game is to try to make some money, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how much money you start with. I mean, look at these big giant games that employed hundreds of people, and they made the game just to make money. There's no other reason for that game to exist. You know, the reason for this game to exist is apparent. If no one else was going to make, this made me laugh. If no one else was going to make the game, I had to make it. It's shoving, you know, and that's the whole point. It wasn't made to make money. You know, there's always, everyone dreams. You can dream, but if you made the game to make money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And that's every game developer, you know, needs to look very hard at that one thing. Because you can be passionate about something in the start, you know, and if you're going, is it worth my time to try to make money? You'll give up on making the game. I mean, you have to love what you know, you have to love the game itself, you know, and if you're trying to make the game for any other reason except to, you know, have fun making it either yourself and playing it yourself or with your team, and your team loves and plays the game, you know, and that everyone's involved, you know, I mean, that's like Larian Studios is probably the best example of, you know, I guess the commitment and passion, you know, everyone, you know, and the well orchestrated and the orchestration of those teams and people, and, you know, tapping into their passion. That's what it's about. Not get the game, here's our political message, and this is the storyline we have to use, and you know, committee members all over the place approving, disapproving, you know, injecting their opinions into other people's work. Nah, let people work and do what they're passionate about. Get them to do what they want. You know, I mean, it's that's what you need. If your franchise doesn't elicit that sort of passion from the team, you know, you're not gonna. It may make some money, but it's not gonna be what it should have been if it was done by passionate people. And that's why, you know, people say, oh, you know, the original people are not there anymore, so that the passion's gone. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'll eventually maybe lose passion for this game. I'll probably be working on it till I die. You know, I won't make Squirrelmageddon 2 unless it's funded. That's for sure. And you know, this is a different skills. You know, I mean, come on, I've been playing this too long. That's why there is a leaderboard. It takes skills. I've got one guy or gal, I don't know, who has like, yeah, that was real smart. I've cornered myself. All right, you've gone over there. See, you know, it's random. The squirrel's randomness So yeah, you do want to level up your weapons because rate of fire is affected by your skill with the level of the weapon, the skill up. I didn't want to add more complexity and split like you're training with the weapon versus get some. Now. Hang on, so it's that it's a mixture, of course. You're kiting and you're shooting from the hip is great with shotguns or anything. It's I took the crosshair out, so the crosshair is only when you aim. So there's all these little decisions you make and what to try to. Everyone has their opinion of how they want their shooters to behave. Or you have to follow industry precedents and all that stuff. And now, how does it work? How does it work in that game? What's the best? Who's the best? What's the best way to do it? It's my game, so it's whatever I think, And what is fun for me, from the hip. I mean, just the dot in the middle at one point wasn't even there. I'm like, some people were saying motion sickness. You need some sort of reference point. I guess. Well, no. It's I don't play very well when I'm streaming. I didn't even get to rescue. I'll continue the mission. Continuing automatically ups the mutations. So this game punishes you when you suck. So, that's why there's so many people that never gotten a higher score than 50k or quit because they're like, this game sucks. I'm like, fine, it sucks. I'm good with that. I'm having fun playing my suckful game. No, there are. Obviously, I'm not the only player. There are people who are playing it. I'm going by rote memory. I have played through these levels thousands of times, and I need to. I'm like, oh, okay, hang on. Let me just make another note here. Yeah. See, one of these days I'll get around to everything. Okay. Access door lock. Access door unlock. Door frame. Door. Material. Green. So yeah, the access granted here updates, but the frame around the door didn't update from red to green. I wonder if that door is going to stay open or close. There's an auto close on some of them. So yeah, I need to change the actual status of that mesh, or of the emissive. Now this system here, a system of my own terrible design, that, hey, it's Squirrel Tech. It's actually orb. The interdimensional pick and put. Very, very important. So you have to open that in order to open that. I probably have to do a state check because I already have the weapon. So on restart, I need to probably add more stateful objects. Instead of having, to start completely from scratch, that means I would also have to track completed. I don't know. I think I'll have to work that one out, exactly what I want to do with that. Oh, that's right, they explode now. think also like I dropped that didn't explode. That's not good. Right. Okay, so that's why I'm doing the play testing. That's not good at all. It's hitting, but it's not exploding. Before it was the barrels, that sound is always a bad sound. Why didn't it explode? So even with a grenade, it hits it, but it's not exploding. So it's because these are movable. When I made them movable, they didn't used to be movable. There was no problems with them. But of course, I had to make them movable. And it was all working. But yeah, so it's a bug. I'll get on to fixing that and pushing out a patch it's the weekend, so I'll have time to fix these things. Yeah, definitely. It worked in the dev window, or sorry, just the in editor. So after the compile, it's an issue. It's really strange. You get some of these weird, strange quirks that don't make sense sometimes. Because it's blueprints, I'm not really looking at the code. Let's see if it affects all barrels or just that one. So this type of first-person shooter, perspective, is quite different because it's the attached camera. So that's why you have like, full body. It's difficult to run both first and third person at the same time. I would love to have done it. I don't know. I've gotten used to it. Most people say it takes some getting used to if you want to use first person. Most people just use third person. Yeah, so the barrels are not exploding. Whoa. Right. Okay, so this is the tutorial stuff. Yeah. Tutorial. So yeah, I had to, of course, make this. If you start a new game, you can re-enable tutorials, and it's persistent. So when you go back over, there's a few more tutorials. My objectives are complete, so grenades.
You are lucky to be alive.
Nice. Armor shards. So the first time people play this game, they're like, "What?" I go, "Yeah, this is my testing level that turned into the training level." So this is how this is the level I use to test. I have a when it's a little bit more. Whoa, that one's worse. See, that's what bugs me. Some of the barrels, fine. I think it might be the save. That's really strange. I'll have to check the difference between those barrels, but I think it's because I have an actor within an actor that might be causing some issues. Maybe it'll just take, I'll have to figure out why. So when that happens, when you have the same asset behaving differently in two different places, I'll work it out. Anyway, the cat has jumped onto the keyboard. She's telling me it's time for breakfast. And that's it. All right. Yeah, if anyone actually watches this, leave a comment. It'd be great. It's funny that anyone who knows about this game, you know, slow-mo exploding squirrels. That's it. Got a few bugs to fix, and hopefully have a patch out tomorrow sometime. All right, that's it.